It is the end of the year, which means I finally opened my personal bag of holding, also known as the giant tote bag that I use to collect all the skincare, makeup and hair care empties that I finished throughout the year. I also spent a great deal of this review process complaining about the amount of trash I have to go to, but I don't seem to learn. I've been doing this since 2021, so here goes another 1 year of empties video. Please remember, I do test a lot of product just for the sake of making content on here. So if something makes it into my daily rotation and gets used enough to be actually finished, that in itself speaks for the product. If I wasn't making content on here, I would probably finish more because I had less products to choose from. But without further blabbing, grab yourself a snack. This is going to be a long video. If we haven't met yet, my name's Dr. Anne. I'm a medical doctor with a passion for skincare, and my goal here is to teach you how to best take care of your skin and general well-being. Let's start with cleansers. The first one I finished is the List Hyaluronic Acid Cleanser. It's great at hydrating the skin. It works well at taking off makeup. I actually do like it a lot more than the List Hydrating Cream to Milk Cleanser that I'm testing right now. So it basically ticks all the boxes with the exception of the fun one. It's a great workhorse, it's affordable, and I like it especially in the colder months when my skin needs that extra bit hydration. It is designed to be a second or morning cleanse, but as I mentioned, it does work to take off my day makeup as well. Next up, the Geek & Gorgeous Mighty Melt Cleansing Balm. This is a great no bullshit cleansing balm. Nothing fancy, no extra scent, but I love the texture. It feels much more luxurious than the price tag would lead you to expect. It takes off all my makeup and rinses perfectly clean even if you don't have a washcloth at hand. So I like to take it with me for traveling because it can also double up as a morning cleanse. Then we have the List Fulvic Acid Brightening Cleanser. This one looks interesting in terms of color, and it has some brown bits floating inside. It also promises to be mildly exfoliating, which I don't get because the bits inside, you don't feel them on the skin, so that's no physical exfoliation, and fulvic acid is not an exfoliating acid. It also claims to be brightening. I don't really use it for that because it's a wash-off product and doesn't really have much inside except of licorice root extract that I would look for in a brightening routine, but it's a really nice cleanser that I enjoyed using up. And then the Florasis, Cordyceps sinensis and Ginseng Cleansing Balm, which has beautiful packaging like the whole Florasis makeup and skincare line. It also has, yeah, can still smell it, a great texture, great scent. It needs some extra work if you're wearing waterproof or heavy makeup, but still it's a really nice product, a really lush cleansing balm that is sadly no longer available, and even if it was, it is quite on the expensive side, so I don't know if I would have picked it up again. Moving on to the category of toners, ampoules, face spritzes, essences, whatever. I have two. I have the Skin 104 Madagascar Centella ampoule that I discovered this year. This is great for lightweight hydration and a little soothing. So I used it a lot during summer when I just wanted something that felt like nothing but offered extra hydration, and during the fall months for, yeah, just again lightweight hydration. Really like it for that. I know some people complain it doesn't do much, and I get that. It's just lightweight hydration, but I think if you're oily, acne prone, don't like to layer too many products, that is one that I would recommend you check out. And the second is the ordinary Saccharomyces Ferment 30% Milky Toner, which is called a gentle exfoliating toner with yeast ferment technology. It has a lot of fermented ingredients, which is what will kind of make or break the product for you. For one, it smells like baking yeast, so it reminds me of baking bread, but some people find it off-putting. And the second thing is there is some benefit in using fermented ingredients for the skin, just because the fermentation process breaks them down into smaller pieces, and that way they can be absorbed much better, so you get more of the nutrients, but not everyone really sees a benefit when using them in their product. I found my skin to look hydrated, fresh, calm, and maybe a tad brighter, but I used it over several months, so there could be other factors at play here. And I really enjoyed the product, but I wouldn't expect it to make a huge difference on kind of dark spots or anything like that. So I think it's a great one depending on your expectations. Now the biggest category, serums. I have two Geek & Gorgeous Sea Glow serums and one that is on its last leg but not yet finished, that will appear in next year's Empties. It is my favorite vitamin C serum. L-ascorbic acid, 20%, feels like water, sinks in immediately, doesn't irritate my skin, doesn't sting. Amazing. I couldn't recommend it enough, especially for the price. I can buy it at my local drugstore. You can also order it online. Never spoiled on me. If I wouldn't test other serums, I'd have probably more of them because one of them lasts for around 3 months. And then another one from Geek & Gorgeous. This is their HA5 Light, which is just a hydrating hyaluronic acid serum. It's really nice, not tacky. I really enjoyed using it, but I usually don't use that many hydrating serums because in my serum step I want the product to pack a little more punch, and this is just hydration, great if your skin is younger than mine, which should be the majority of people, and that just need the hydration for that extra plumpness in their look. Then I have the ordinary hyaluronic acid 2% plus B5. This is the reformulated version of their hyaluronic acid serum. And this one has extra panthenol added in for, extra soothing. Really enjoyed that in the winter. Great texture, great price point. I really enjoy it, especially if your skin isn't only dehydrated, but also has a tendency to be irritated or red, which is true for most people that have more mature skin and use actives, so that would be a great choice. And then the Timeless Matrixyl Synthase 6 serum, which is hydration with added peptides. It has peptides from the Matrixyl complex, which I enjoy, but I have other serums that I will come to that I use for my peptide fix, so I like that for hydration with some peptides extra. I really enjoyed it. It isn't as easy to get for me as other ones and on the medium price range, but the Timeless range is quite nice if you want a hydration plus peptide serum and don't want to invest into copper peptides. Speaking of copper peptides, I have two that I finished. The first one is the Neod Copper Amino Isolate Serum 3 1.1. That used to be my favorite copper peptide / peptide serum that I have been using faithfully for years. But that was recently replaced by the Medicaid Liquid Peptides Advanced MP that I tested from, I say, after the first quarter of this year. Lovely watery texture. I did not like many other more affordable serums with copper peptides that I tested. More of a lotiony texture. This one also has mini proteins inside, which is a kind of an interesting area of research. Sadly, this one is incredibly expensive and this one is even more expensive. So yeah, apparently my taste in peptide serums is more on the upper tier of the price point, but there are more affordable versions that you can get if you are on a budget. I think I would repurchase this one, but either of them are fine. Then the other vitamin C serums that I have tested when I paused my Geek & Gorgeous one. First one is from Skintegra, Superba C Ultra Slip Radiance Reveal Serum. This one uses vitamin C derivative, so not L-ascorbic acid. I personally prefer L-ascorbic acid in my serums because it has the best amount of research behind it, but I understand that there are some people that can't use it due to problems with sensitivity, the low pH it requires, and for those this one could be a good option. It uses sodium ascorbylphosphate, which is a derivative that is also quite good at targeting inflammation in the skin. So it might be good for those that can't use L-ascorbic acid because they have rosacea prone skin or very irritated skin due to their acne. And the other one is the Sunday Riley CEO 15% vitamin C brightening serum. This again uses a vitamin C derivative, the tetrahexyldecyl ascorbat one, which is also great for people that have more reactive skin and can't tolerate L-ascorbic acid. The downside on this one is, other than the price, it is quite expensive, is that it has quite a few essential oils. So if you want to switch to a vitamin C derivative because your skin is so reactive, this might not be the best choice for you. This is really a treat to yourself because it smells divine and has an amazing texture. Still, I will go back to Geek and Gorgeous. Then I put my actives and retinoids in a different category. Actives meaning exfoliants, and as exfoliants I finished the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA liquid Oops. I really enjoy that. I love the texture. It never irritates my skin. It keeps it free from congestion when used like 3 times a week. I am currently using a drugstore version that is quite good as well, but does not have the same lovely texture, so I will go back to that one. And in the category of retinoid products, for full disclosure, I didn't finish them, my husband did, because I am on retinoid, so testing retinol over the counter would be, I would have sworn there were more, but I'm not sure if he is as good as collecting the empties than I am. Is Geek and Gorgeous A-Game, one in the A-Game 5 and one in the A-Game 20, which was the new one, and he usually uses the A-Game 10. Why? Because there is no difference in the effect or irritation potential it has on the skin, but the A-Game 20, which is their newest and strongest version, takes longer to sink in and leaves kind of a yellowish cast in his stubble that he doesn't like, and the 10 does not do that. If you aren't as hairy in the face as my husband is, this one might still be a good option, but if you use that one, do your skincare before you go to bed so it can sink in and doesn't ruin your pillows. So these are the ones I keep purchasing for him. The other ones he tried is one, the Medicaid Crystal Retinol 6. This was his absolute favorite because he loved the texture and the way it felt on his skin. It is also way more expensive than the other ones, so I'm not sure if it will become a staple. He's not willing to spend as much on skincare as I am. The last one I wanted to mention that he also liked because the texture is really lovely is the Sunday Riley A+ High Dose Retinoid Serum. Despite being called high dose retinoid serum, it is the weakest out of the 4 that I have showed you, at least from what I can tell from looking outside, because the retinoid in here is a blend using retinol esters and others to come to the percentage of retinoid they are telling you it contains. So he loved the texture, but it is quite expensive. If he was willing to splurge, I would opt for that one, but as he is not, I think we will stick to the Geek and Gorgeous ones. Eye creams. I finished actually 3. The first one being the Banish Instant Lift Brightening Eye Cream. I've used that up in the evening over the last few months. It is lovely and rich without being greasy and giving me milia. It is also very expensive. It has peptides it contains, so I think there is reason to the high price point, but I am not sure I'm willing to spend as much on an eye cream that does not contain a retinoid. Because that one, the Murad Retinol Youth Renewal Eye Serum, is also very, very expensive. I seem to have an expensive taste in eye cream, but also contains retinoids. And I use retinoid all over my face. I wouldn't dream of bringing up to my eyes because irritation. I just don't want to risk that on like the tender skin around the eyes. So I use products like this. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd one that I have finished over the years, which is really great. Gives me no irritation, sinks in immediately. And for the mornings, I have one that is the complete opposite of the spectrum. This is the Incalist Caffeine Eye Cream. I love that one because it works great for depuffing my eyes, something that gets more and more important the older I get, because I can wake up to quite puffy eyes, and that one brings this puffiness down within a quarter of an hour, something like that, even if I had a good hormonal cry session the night before. Now, moisturizers, and I do have a lot in this category, much more than I had in the previous years, which is explained by how my skin has changed. I am now no longer oily, but at an age where I definitely need something at night, even in the summer months, and even if it's not that hot, something to, keep my skin happy in the morning, something more lightweight. So on the more lightweight front, we have from Murat the Nutrient Charged Water Gel, which is a pink cloud-like gel moisturizer jam-packed with ceramides, good lipids, peptides. I love it. It shouldn't matter that it is pink and cloudy, because I am a proclaimed hater of the color pink, but still, I love that one. It is quite expensive for what it is, just a moisturizer, but I think it's my third bottle that I have finished, and I think I will go back. This works great in the summer months at night to just help my skin be happy, and in the mornings underneath my sunscreen. Another one is the Skin 104 Tone Brightening Capsule Cream that I used up over fall. It's again lightweight enough to work in the mornings for me underneath my sunscreen, and I use that because it's from the brightening line. It contains niacinamide but also tranexamic acid. Now, don't come at me. I know that the data on topical tranexamic acid isn't good, but it was the one ingredient I was missing in my routine to target hyperpigmentation, so I finished why not. It is, even if the tranexamic acid doesn't do anything, it is a lovely, lightweight, hydrating cream that I really enjoyed. And another surprise favorite is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Pink Juice Moisturizer. Again, pink. I bought a set of minis to test the brand Glow Recipe a few years ago, and when I looked at them I was like, okay, they are not going to work for me because they are for a much younger audience with their packaging and their artificial scents and all that. But there were quite a few that I did surprisingly love, and that one was one of them. It is called a moisturizer, but it is so lightweight, feels like water on the skin, very hydrating, that I could even forgive that horrible fake watermelon scent. And I never would have thought I'd say that, but I am tempted to get that one again for the summer months. It's not something for now, for when it's really cold, but for the summer month, I really enjoyed that. And that shows that I can be surprised even at my ripe old age. A hybrid, and one that is really hard to track down, is the Real Barrier Intense Moisture Hyaluronic Cream. I got sent Real Barrier products quite a while ago for a sponsored post, and I really enjoyed their toner, and they have a really rich cream, but that one was the standout for me. But when I tried to repurchase it, I could not, for the life of me, find it anywhere online. I don't know why. I have since managed to track it in an online store where I can get this, ordered one, and my daughter immediately stole it from me. So it has her sign of approval as well. The brand Real Barrier says they have this MLE technology, which means they have the skin's own lipid in a ratio that they, when looked at under the microscope, arrange in the perfect way like they arrange in the skin. I can't say anything about the truth there is to this claim, but I can say that this is really soothing, helps with flaking, and is very lightweight, opposed to the other one, which is a really thick cream for like the cold of winter. So now that I know where I can get it, I think I will stock up on these. Another one that is more on the lightweight side is the Dr. G Red Blemish Clear Soothing Cream. This is again more of a gel cream that I reviewed quite a while ago. quite watery texture, has ceramides, skin soothing ingredients, and panthenol, so it's great to bring down redness in the skin, which is something that I suffer from, especially in winter and in spring, so great for the mornings then. Then, of course, one of the holy grail winter products, the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm B5. This is not elegant in texture, it has no nice scent, but it is the best that I have if my skin starts flaking around the mouth and just gets generally irritated. A thick layer of that one, either before I leave the house to be exposed to cold winds, like going on a winter hike or something like that, or if I have overdone it with the actives paired with cold winds, paired with indoor heating. This is the one that brings my skin back to its normal state within 1 or even 2 nights, so definitely will repurchase that one. One from the category that I would have absolutely shunned 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, the Biossance Collagen Omega Repair Cream. This is a very nourishing cream without being greasy, but it is one that I would have looked at and said, well, no, it's not for me, not for my skin type. Well, now it is. I need something more nourishing, and this is great because it's not oily, doesn't break me out, works a charm. Scopolamine, ceramides, omega fatty acid, everything that you want, and it really melts into the skin like a dream. Great product if you don't know it already. And then the last one, the Skin 1004 Madagascar Centella Probiotica Enrich Cream. The Probiotica line is the line aimed at more mature skin they do, and they do it very, very well. I have a few of their products from this line, and this is great. I finished that one because it is, again, like the cream I showed you before, the right amount of nourishment and richness without being greasy or without breaking me out or giving me milias. It has probiotic ingredients. Make of that what you will. I'm not sure, it's not something that I actively seek out, as well as Centella Asiatica, but I don't choose my moisturizer because of any fancy actives. I just wanted to do the job, like keep my skin happy, calm and moisturized, and that one is great for that. Sunscreen, which is where I finished a lot, but a lot of the same stuff. I have 3 of the La Roche-Posay Anthelios UV Immune 400, which is my outdoor sunscreen. It is sweat resistant, which is why I wear it to the beach, on hiking, generally in summer, and it has a great range of protection that will help keep hyperpigmentation at bay. Also works well under makeup, but the price of it being sweat resistant is that you do feel that you have put something on your skin. Unlike these 3, which are the Skin 104 Hyaluronic Water Fit Sun Serums SPF 50+, these are my office sunscreens, the ones that I wear year round. They have a great natural finish. They feel like nothing, or like a light moisturizer on the skin, and offer enough protection like I want it for my face when I'm just going to the office and back and not spending hours and hours outdoors. Not sweat resistant, which is why I would not wear them to the beach. Otherwise you'd be reapplying all the time. And then 2 of the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Rice Plus Probiotics. These are the same category as the Skin 104 ones. I really enjoy them, but they have a little more dewy finish and are a little more hydrating. So I tend to use the Skin 104 ones more in the warmer months and these one more in the colder months, but you don't need both. And that's skincare done. I'm gonna move on to hair care, then makeup, and then a few myths, but we're almost through. We're almost done it. The first thing I have here, and it looks gross because I had it in my bathroom, is the Olaplex Hair Perfector number 3. I have been doing Olaplex for my bleaching, which, don't judge, the last time I went to the hairdressers was February, so I'm well overdue a root touch-up and a cut. But with that out of the way, I've been using that for around 10 years now to keep my hair as healthy as possible. It is very fine, very prone to breakage, and it is usually bleached and heat styled, so it isn't healthy in itself. And I swear that this one has made my hair look better than it ever did in the years before. Might be me just imagining things, but I swear by it and have been repurchased numerous times. I also tried their bond maintenance shampoo and bond maintenance conditioner, both of which I did not like. Well, it's not that I dislike them, they are okay, but they weigh my hair down and I don't feel like they give me any extra benefit. So I bought them, I used them up. I will not repurchase them again because they are kind of pricey for what they are. The K18 Leave-In Molecular Repair Hair Mask. This is one that I picked up like 2 years ago and I feel it helped my hair get even better in the process. This is the mini size. I have since graded up to the full size and I use that one during the week, like I use Olaplex on the weekends once and then this one during the week, because you don't condition beforehand, you just apply that one and then let it sink in, and after 10 minutes I do go in with some hair oil to get my hair really detangled and nourished, and that saves me some time in the hair wash process over the course of the week. So I like that, have already repurchased. And then last one with the bond repair. I'm really having a moment with these bond repair treatments is the L'Oreal Elvital Bond Repair Conditioner. I admit I don't have it for the bond repair claims and I've only used the conditioner so far. I really like how incredibly soft and nourished this makes my hair feel. It is very, very silicone-y, which is probably why it gives my hair this beautiful softness and slip, but I like it. It's very affordable, so I will repurchase this one over the one from Olaplex for sure. Then I have 2 bottles of dry shampoo in the original scent, which is the scent that I prefer, and these are for when I need to touch up my hair after working out and don't have time to wash it, something like this. So I always have a bottle of dry shampoo at hand. And then I have the Garnier Fructis Multi-Use Wonder Oil. I am a convert to hair oil for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years maybe now. Before that I always felt like it weighed down my hair too much, but this one does not. Again, mainly silicones, but I applied to my lengths before I brush through them, and I'm really sure that this helps reduce breakage, has a nice scent, and has the right texture and consistency for my hair personally. And then I finished a few of these topical minoxidil ones. I did a video in summer on topical minoxidil for hair growth and showed my before and after results. I have since stopped using that because it made my scalp so itchy that I could not deal with it anymore. But if you don't have that problem, I think this is a great way for a lot of people that deal with hair loss. Try and see how it works for you. Makeup. I have several mascaras. I have the Sweet Cloud 9 mascara that I really enjoyed, which surprised me because if you look at the wand, this is like cone shape wand with short bristles, absolutely not what I usually go for, but that was really great for lengthening, separating and lifting my lashes. It didn't weigh them down because my lashes aren't short, but they are quite straight, and if I have a heavy mascara they just drop. So that one was amazing. It is also quite expensive, and I have, this is my favorite drugstore one, which is why I have 2. This is the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara, and it's the one I'm wearing right now with my favorite, like a thicker, more bristly brush. This is much more affordable and easier to get than this one, so I did stick with that one. But if Sweet is readily available for you, this is great for like separation and lift. I also tried the L'Oreal Panorama version because, yeah, I guess because advertising, I saw it and I knew I had to try it. And I like L'Oreal mascaras, but that one did not work for me. It was very, very wet for a long time, and then suddenly it was too dry. So not my favorite. I had hoped that because the wand was similar, it would work as well as the Cloud 9 one from Sweet, but it didn't. Also from L'Oreal was the L'Oreal Infallible 32 Hours Fresh Wear Foundation in the shade Rose Ivory. I have a foundation review up that you can go watch. It wasn't the best for me. It started to break down around hour 4 and start to settle into my lines and show some redness, and I need my foundation to look good for the biggest amount of my workday. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, so this is why it took me like 2.5 years to finish. I used to wear it if I had a shorter day because I liked it enough to not throw it out, but not enough to wear it every day. I have others that I prefer and will not repurchase, but the color Rose Ivory is a good color match. Again, L'Oreal. This is from their Age Perfect line and it's the cream eyeshadow in 07 by Burnt Beige. I wanted that one as a easy wash of color all over my lids, one that I could apply with my fingers for very, very, very easy days when I didn't want to spend a lot of time getting ready. It was too glittery for my taste, but the main downside was that after a few hours it would start to fade or look patchy. So I ended up using it up as an eyeshadow base, using that one and then an eyeshadow on top, because when you set it with powder it would stay. And that worked quite well, especially if you used a matte eyeshadow on top, because the glitter in this one would give extra dimension to the product. Then I picked up the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel in a mini size. My brow hair, starting from the arch outside, tend to grow downwards, and I think that makes me look tired or sad, so I want something to brush them up and hold them in place all day long. And I had high hopes that that would be it, but it didn't. After 3-4 hours everything went south again, so not for what I wanted it to do. I understand they have a stronger one, but I have since found one that I really, really enjoy, so not going to repurchase. Then I have a Manhattan Soft Compact Powder in Transparent Natural Look. I am all for a matte base. Not all over, at least not anymore, but I grew up in the 80s, early noughties, so this is what I want my face to look like. And I powder always here next to my nose, chin and forehead. I will do so until I die, I assume, even though I know it shows my age and glass skin is the way to go. Not for me. This was one that I used up over the course of several years because I have a few powders on rotation. Really nice, not mind-blowing. I have others that I can choose from right now, but we need to come to the end of this video. I'm starting to drop things. So I have two black eyeliners because I wear eyeliner almost every single day. This one is the Catrice It's Easy one, the golden one. I have to take my word on it because everything has completely wrapped off. This is one of the felt tip liners. I liked it much more than the tattoo one, which is apparently waterproof but doesn't last as long as this one did. But went in with the NYX Epic Ink liner in waterproof to just test something new, which was also okay. None of them blew me away. All are quite nice. I don't know, still on the hunt for the perfect one, but all are affordable and easy to pick up. And now, final category. I'm not going to bore you with body care and all that stuff if you want to know about that, you need to check out my Instagram where I share that as well. Random product. I have several gels I use with my devices. The Zip Golden Gel, I finished 2 of. Yes, this is incredibly expensive. No, you don't have to use these if you're using a microcurrent device. You can use other conductive gels as well, but I love them. They have extra beneficial ingredients that are said to be transported deeper into the skin through the microcurrent. I'm not sure if that is what moves the needle here, but I really enjoy using them. My favorite is the Golden Gel, which is why I finished 2, but it's also the most expensive. Then I finished 1 bottle of Silver Gel, which is also very nice and more affordable, and a bottle of the Zip Electric Complex, which is the most affordable but contains less product. So if you're comparing value for money, keep that in mind. I'm not sure if I would purchase the Golden Gel if I had to pay my own money, but I get them as PR, so I'm very happy to keep using them. And the last thing, again from Florasis, is their dual lip oil that I absolutely loved. It was like a biphasic one that you had to shake up and then apply it, and it had a beautiful scent. It made my lips super, super soft. It added beautiful glossiness without being too over the top, but it's both expensive and no longer available. So no chance of repurchasing this one. And that's a wrap. I can finally end the beauty year with throwing all that trash into the garbage and start 2026 with a clean slate. This is the last video I will upload in 2025, so I wish you all a great start to the new year. Lots of love. May the right dreams come true for you next year, and I'll see you all very soon.